Hello Leo, welcome to my channel. This is the reading for February 2024. Of course, you could watch this whenever you feel called to. I have 3 decks for this video. The main deck for this reading is the Slavic Legends Tarot. And I love this deck. It reads so vividly and there is a strength to it, but also a gentleness to it too. The power of the runes. I love that they're runes in card form, and the interpretations are ones that I connect to. The symbolism, imagery. And if you've been on my channel for a while, you may have seen this deck. This was one of the first decks that I used for my readings, and it's the Healing with the Fairies Oracle cards. So I didn't pull out any of the cards, and I turn them over when I pull out all the cards for the reading. I'm really getting short and to the point. There's a directness, and also another word that I'm getting is validation. There is an eagerness too, that's what I'm getting. And the energy is swift, as if wanting to get a response. That was the feeling that I was getting towards the beginning of the video. It could be something or someone that you fell hard for, because the song that's coming to me is like, I want to know if he really loves me, is a little bit of the lyrics of the song. But then there's also, I want to know, but I don't want to know. There's a lot of fixated energy too, because maybe a lot of effort or energy is going towards this, and my wrist seems to be sore, like here, as if there was like you were doing something and it came to a point where you were getting sore from doing it. There's a couple of what maybe we consider masculine cards. You don't have to read gender necessarily. Um, More on wanting to take the lead or wanting to make moves. The extra card that I got is the Emperor card. And also a starting point to where you want to build something. And also seeing it from different points of view, since it's a card that is represented by Aries, and not to say that this is an Aries reading. Um, you can watch this if you're looking at different places in your chart, but uh, with the goat, it's able to stand on cliffs with its hooves, and it's able to see different possibilities and could go to really steep places, places that maybe other people aren't able to go. So there is a sense of dominating a certain area. And it doesn't need to be aggressive towards a person, I would say, since it's that word and it can be conceived in different ways. There's something that you're thinking about with the antlers in the Emperor card, almost representing maybe trying to get inspiration or ideas or how to follow through with something. And it seems in a way where it's happening a good amount, because it's almost as if you're really focused on this specific area in your life where you really want to make something happen. And also in the hopes or fears position, there's the Hermit card. And one might say that you might be going a little less there, as if you're taking a step back and you're a little to yourself, and maybe not being as talkative, not being present with others at this time. And also the antlers and Awas too, and a sense of perception with the rainbow linking to earth and the heavens. It also feels like can be divine inspiration or divine guidance in a way. Trying to use that type of sensory or maybe intuition of gauge the right angle, discernment. And I feel like these words are coming out, and it's really direct, as if there's so much that is going on and playing in your head. And this could be the have to do with it. How am I going to get from point A to point B? This feels like, although maybe they're in their 20s or 30s, it does feel like this is more of a mature decision. So it could also be something as if it's not as whatever as not necessarily like whatever if it of course if you've had other relationships in the past, not saying that they were whatever, but this seems like it's different. There's something that is more potent about what this connection is. And again, you don't have to link it to relationships, but this seems like it's more towards a dynamic between two people. And for the environment, it's interesting because you have the Five of Swords here. There may have been a conflict or something that was um, a bigger argument. Although this is a minor arcana card, it feels like this has hindered something in the relationship. Maybe somebody took it too far and said something, even did something. Um, there could be, I'm getting manipulating a conversation. And that is to say that to morally encompass, that's not a good thing. And it's also, I felt like there could have been something that just, again, with taking something far, it really affected the Two of Cups. What was once so fluid and running, or the interaction was more smooth, running smoothly. Now it's a little bit, I'm getting chaotic at this point. And it's gotten to a point that maybe this was something that was reoccurring and it kept getting brought up, but it wasn't resolved. And now it's to the point where mm, with the Five of Swords, maybe in a way that I guess it couldn't be held back anymore, or life couldn't hold it back anymore. Like, things have to change. You can't avoid it. It's coming, type of thing. This is definitely reassuring. The extra cards for the Five of Swords and the Tower card is another extra card. Is the Ten of Cups, the Ace of Wands, Magician, and the Six of Swords. The further card, the Six of Swords, is nice. you know, and it's coming after the Five of Swords too. So moving forward, there might be um, other things that arise. It might be a little bit of rocking, like not a smooth sail, but moving forward nonetheless. And with the Six of Swords, there maybe there was an apology that was due or some clarity since we are in the sword suit and it could be representing knowledge and communication. Maybe things were brought up. And maybe this could have led to more arguments because I was asking what was the arguments and the Five of Wands came up as if it could have been small things that led to bigger things, and I feel like it happened early on where maybe somebody knew about this already and it just kept building. Or maybe somebody wasn't taking it as seriously as the other person. Because a lot of times we can go into an argument where we're thinking that this is important to me, and because this is important to me, it must be one of those things in a dynamic in a relationship that is an important factor to the other person. But the other person may see it as they could see why you're upset about something at the same time. Their list of things that are really important to them may be slightly different or maybe completely different than what you're really seeing it to be. So, really setting the guidelines and even setting boundaries is important too, especially with the Two of Cups. I'm getting maybe certain boundaries need to be set. Maybe this is wanting to take things further because in the karmic card, while everything's happening, you have the King of Swords. And with the King of Swords too, it might be a direct energy that's something where really bringing the clarity because cutting all of the other stuff out of it. This is what is going on. These are things that can happen in order to move forward. And some of it might seem a little harsh too. And it might seem harsh because there's a lot of stuff that maybe built up that it's gotten to a point where it's when you move forward, there's a couple of things that need to be done. It's as if you have one thing that you need to take care of, and you procrastinate a little bit. And sorry, that's my washing machine, my dryer. And you have one thing that needs to be done, and then uh, you don't do it, so it doesn't get resolved, and then another thing is piled up on top of that. So there's just like um more responsibilities that need to get taken care of. Maybe with the Six of Swords, it could be delegating. I'm really getting that one person, it might seem as if the other person didn't care enough, and that's where the Five of Wands was coming out, and the Five of Swords was taking it even more further. Sorry, as I'm talking about um not doing things, it'll just beep. Um, but it won't beep for a long time. It's also good because it's like kick up your heels, and I'm getting like, don't worry. I'm not saying don't worry to not resolve things, but it also feels as if it has to do with being maybe more vulnerable or more accepting. And it's almost living as if there's a gentleness or where you're not pushing it as much because it's to live as if you're moving on without feeling like the world owes you something. It's the Queen of Cups. I feel like she's feeling more than what she's saying. And a little bit of this reading, I'm also getting that with the Ten of Swords, there might have been a distance between them, like a wedge that just, or a wall up. Sorry, I'll be right back. So with the Awas, more of like divine guidance and even a little bit of protection too, that maybe there is a reason why there is, it kind of feels like a gap or like a time lapse or time passing and something needing to be done before you can come back together. Because of the past, you have the Ten of Cups, and that's towards the, it is the end of the cycle in Minor Arcana 1 through 10, and then it goes into the court cards. So this was more of like a past energy, and also the past card that's in this reading is the Page of Coins. So this is a card that like can link to a commitment. It's one where it's a younger energy of the court cards, but it feels like kind of like the responsible or the one that is like has good maybe work ethic or is a bit responsible in this. That's what I'm getting from the Page of Coins and with the Ten of Cups. There is a sense of harmony with that. So there might have been like a sense of consistency, as if a person is consistently showing up in the relationship. And with this one, it feels like, how am I going to ignite it again? What is going to be like the boost or like the startup of how we could get it going again? The immediate future is the Four of Cups. It kind of feels like, although, well, it kind of feels like the masculine, and it again, it doesn't need to be gender specific, is feeling bad for himself and a little bit feeling like the world or he needs to have something because that's the just thing to do. I'm getting the phrase again, like the world owes you something. It looks like with the fish in the background that's offering the cup, it looks like the other person that was in it, they had all these things to give, and it could have been, again, dynamic of what was important to one person isn't not important to the other person, but it's not something that they think about at the top of their head on like the top things that we consider vital to have or immediate satisfaction or tending to another person. But they gave. It feels like the other person did give a lot, but maybe with a different type of love language. It's almost as if they didn't see it and they're wondering what happens. Mm, the Nine of Swords to go with that one. There's a feeling of being bothered, like being hot and bothered, because it's really something that they think about constantly. The underlying energy is the Ace of Coins, and since I said the Ace of Coins, again with the Page of Coins, this feels like a little bit of rekindling or kindling or like having second chances. Not really paying attention to the other person's love language or what's important to them. And it looks like maybe the other person is thinking about that too because her hair in this picture are roots, and it's almost as if she wanted to be grounded in it too. The present card is the Six of Coins. There could be little effort to go in towards the beginning, maybe um putting as if little conversations to get the ball rolling, and then if the person responds well or is more cooperative, then putting more effort into it. And that is the Four of Wands with it. Because maybe it feels like if she even responds, that would be like a happy dance. It'll be exciting. Then the overall energy being temperance. It does feel like something needing to be set right with this. There is a unsettled energy that comes with this too. That's if it wasn't clarified or if it wasn't brought to the surface or things weren't resolved. The energy of the mind is the King of Wands, which is Leo's card. I do feel like these are two different energies with the King of Swords and the King of Wands. Both are pretty strong personalities with this. So it kind of feels like one person isn't backing down, and then it's like, okay, I'm not going to back down either. Another overall energy is the Chariot card. And in order for things to move smoothly, both of them need to get on the same page for the Chariot to run. And in the further future is the Five of Cups. I would say don't worry if things are a little rocky in the beginning, just because it's the Five of Cups. It seems like maybe something isn't going so smoothly or as quickly, but it's not bad. And it could also be like dealing with things that you don't want to deal with. It's the Knight of Wands too. Fiery, persistent energy, but with the Knight, it does feel as if it's a little sporadic. Because the King is more grounded than Knight. Maybe that the person can't be there as much as he would want to be. And then the Nine of Coins. Okay, that's where one of the main things is. So what the other person might not be seeing is that this person has a plan in mind. So the extra cards, there's a couple. With the Two of Wands, basically he's trying to plan things out. He's not always there, but he's ready to establish something. And although this is one where it's mainly one person that is establishing themselves, it's good in some regards, but it's putting other priorities on top of the relationship. And the other person, what they might not see is that they're trying to establish themselves too, and they're pretty established already, being the Queen of Coins, Queen of Pentacles. But it could be in a sense where this person's a knight and wants to be more established to match the Queen of Coins. And it's where the conflict comes from, one of the main ones. And then there's this with priority, with the Five of Wands. Where working on all these things, and it's great and all to move forward in your career, but you're just more and more distant, is what it feels like to the other person. And that's like where the card of waiting comes in, like constantly waiting. Like this person, other person is like waiting for this other person to show up. So and maybe with the guidance of it, maybe it's like under their nose, or it kind of feels like they're getting the message but they're not getting the message, that the message is communicated in a way. And I say maybe it's not as clear as, because we have different love languages too. um so it's not completely understood when another person brings it up, or even when it's brought to light in general, of maybe it's more obvious for one person of, or for the environment to see that it's not, um things aren't working as planned because of X, Y, and Z. And again, with love languages and even thinking about the different factors and things that are important, um not really seeing it. But there's also a thing where you don't want to see it when it's late into it, and then life keeps happening, and there are things that need to be done in this life where you have to take care of things and being able to show up for yourself. So I'll pull out another card. And then I'll read the oracle card message. It's the Three of Cups. And it kind of feels like it goes with the oracle card where kicking up your heels. And the bottom is Ace of Swords. I feel like this other person that is being um in, included in this reading is that they also want some type of communication or some type of resolution to this. So there could be some brainstorming and talking things through, really seeing it um, more clearly. And with communication, really listening to what the other person's needs are can be really great for it to be fruitful, which maybe with the Seven of Coins too, with patience and also being able to work for towards being more prosperous in this. So the reading. Card meaning your soul longs to celebrate and have fun. The fairies urge you to call your friends for a get together or an evening out. There's always something to celebrate, and this card asks you to do so now. Your soul longs for an exciting adventure such as an out of town trip, throwing a party, kicking up your heels, and going dancing. Sometimes we procrastinate when it comes to personal timeouts, believing that such activities cost too much time and money, yet the benefits of celebrating are many. Getting a fresh perspective and new ideas, rekindling old friendships, and a sheer joy of entertaining yourself. The fairies hold celebrations regularly and sometimes on nightly basis. They know that the importance of singing and dancing as a part of developing a community spirit. Although you may wish that someone else would take the initiative to suggest an evening out, maybe it's time for you to take the lead and plan a special event. Affirmations: I'm spirited, playful, and fun to be with. I create ways to celebrate with my friends. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that was helpful, and I'll see you in another video. Bye.